Why are you running to hide? But you are showing clearly here. Guys, if you're watching on Facebook, please send stars. Okay? Quite an interesting topic we have today. Elon Musk's father apparently impregnated his stepdaughter. But that's just one half of the conversation. The conversation is multifaceted. If you're watching from Facebook, please buy stars on Facebook. So let's talk about that. Good evening, Wilfred. How are you doing? Good evening, Ifi Nwankwo. Hello, everyone on TikTok. Hello, everyone on YouTube. We're not going to take more than an hour. So the conversation starter is Elon Musk. Let me read the whole story to you so we can all talk about this. I saw it on Linda Ikeji's blog and I was a little freaked out. Hello, Lovette. I hope you know use more than half for both sides. By the way, it's my wifey's birthday today. Big shout out to Taste Buds NG. I haven't been online today at all. Someone say yella yella. They already know you here. So big shout out to Taste Buds NG. By the way, if you're living in Nigeria, how are you guys coping with the price of bread? Bread that used to be 450 naira during COVID is now 1K. As in, how are people coping? How are people coping? And what's going on in Anambra? Why is Anambra so unsafe? Gunmen abduct locals and throw them off bridge. Come on, guys, what's going on? For what? Talking about the insecurity and unrest in Lagos State, we've been advised to go on with our normal activities. Apparently, the Lagos State Police Command is assuring citizens that everything is okay and no need for any major panic. This is coming in the wake of the threats that came to Abuja and Lagos. So I can't see the story here. Or was it only on her? I'm looking at Instagram, Linda Ikeji's page. I saw it on her Instagram handle. Maybe we should go there. Oh yes, it's right here. There are three topics in this. If I want to spend anything, I have to answer 100 questions. Elon Musk's dad says he's not proud of his son when he defends having kids with stepdaughter as completely normal. All right, so that's the first topic.
Why isn't he proud of his son?
Now, Elon Musk has stated that he isn't proud of his billionaire son, claiming the Tesla CEO doesn't give him money without questioning him. He then explained why he married and had a baby with his stepdaughter in a candid radio interview. I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty details. First things first, my humble opinion, I don't know what yours is, I think that is entitlement. Let's first start with having a child with your stepdaughter. I'm going to use the biblical perspective here. Even though it's Old Testament, I don't see how it has been abolished in the New, because Paul quarreled with someone for sleeping with his father's wife, which wasn't his mother, obviously. So there are many things that were considered immorality, and this was definitely considered immorality during the time of Christ. But while I'm opening the Bible, what is your take? Father versus stepdaughter. Do you think it's okay?
Like, no, it's not okay. But I'm not sure about why I think it's not okay. I won't say it's not okay because of the Bible. It's the same thing as, like, you get, if I'm dating a guy, why is my friend dating him after? You know that thing, actually, it hurts. Do you get? But sometimes you still let your friend as in date him. Maybe you see that they are right for each other, that kind of thing, but it hurts. So I don't know. It's like my mom and my dad, they don't work out, and then me and my dad now have feelings for each other.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, first of all, my mom is going to be pissed, but like, when you think about it, I'm not sure she's going to be pissed first because you're going against the Bible. She's going to be pissed because it hurts her, as in, so someone I was with, as in, do you understand? No one is going to think about the Bible first. I don't know, to me. So it's like biblical,
very
not
weird.
biblical.
You
Like,
see, here's what the Bible says. Leviticus 18:17. Do not have intimate relations with both a woman and her daughter. Do not have relations with either her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter. They are her close relatives. This is wickedness. Leviticus 18:17.
wickedness. It's, you see, it's me being wicked to my mom.
Now, do not have sexual relations, I shouldn't have said that word, with both a woman and her daughter. I'm reading the NLT now. I read NIV earlier on. And do not take her granddaughter, whether her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter, and have relations with her. They are close relatives, and this will be a wicked act.
Who is saying all
This is God's instruction through Moses to the people.
Okay.
So, as a teacher of scripture, yeah,
Continue.
as a teacher of scripture, the tendency for me to simply just stick with scripture here, especially since it's not like it's not making sense, is the best thing to do. Sometimes people find themselves in unwholesome relationships
with
yes.
So as Yahushua has come and fulfilled the law.
You see, the problem with this is we cannot outrightly say it is the law. Do you understand? There's wisdom in it. And I don't know, it's funny. But why am I taking that? Why do I want to actually grab hold? I don't want us to go into this debate because it's never going to end. People have diverse opinions. The main problem, the main issues I have with this debate are, why I brought that part up is because here's why. Okay, let me try to get my thoughts together. Elon Musk's father said Elon Musk never gives him money without him answering many questions. Said he answers 100 questions before he gets money. That he's not proud of his son. Typical Nigerian mentality. That's where they run to the same Bible. You see, my problem with Nigerians is hypocrisy. If you read the comments on the blog, nobody's saying that maybe Elon is not proud of his father because he married a stepdaughter. All of them are saying, oh, Elon is not proud, or the father is not proud of him. I think we should give our parents credit, but I think sometimes we give our parents too much credit. And because we've given our parents too much credit, we don't hold them accountable for some of the really dumb things they do. One thing I also wonder is, if I needed money from Yella, for instance, I don't see why she shouldn't ask me questions what I want to do with the money. The only money I can spend without questions is the one I earned for myself. And guess what? As a family man, there are some expenses I wouldn't indulge in simply because even my wife will ask me, come, you've not paid school fees, you've not done that, you want to do this. No, it doesn't make any sense. So even my own money that I earned, because I live in a family, I don't live alone, sometimes I have to answer a few questions. Now, how do... Another problem is Nigerians are engulfed in what I like to refer to as third world problems. Your parents raise you, and by force you must raise them when they are old. Yoruba people say, Omu okete lomo, omu okete lomu to ba dagba. Like when okete is a big rat, when the okete gets old, the child of the okete breastfeeds it. So the child breastfeeds the mother when the mother is too old. So that's the mentality they have to explain the fact that your parents are going to come and they're going to be leeches on you, and you're never going to grow because you have parents you have to raise in old age. I thank God for my parents. I've never sent my mom 1,000 naira in my life before. Never. If I send my mother money, first, I don't even know my mother's account number. I'm telling you, there's nothing my mother needs in her life that she cannot get. Do you understand? As they see me, there are things that I will still compromise. My mother is a professor of law. She's on the board of African Universities Council. She's a sitting vice chancellor. You understand? My mother is... Let me tell you something. There was a time I was with one of my sisters in Romania, and I placed an order for something. My sister was holding my mom's card, and she was like, I said, since it was an online transaction, I said, okay, can I use mommy's card? I have euro. When I get to the room, I'll give you cash. So my sister was like, when you borrow money from mommy, do you pay her back? I said, yes. So ask her. I need more time. I borrow money, I always pay her back. My sister laughed. That very, those heavy laden laugh. She said, don't worry, mommy will not remember this 200 euro you bought, you used to. Mommy will not even know that it left her account. Don't worry, let's just be good. And true to it, my mother never asked. And that's how I chopped her money. That just once. I don't feel proud eating my mother's money at 46 years of age. But that particular one, it was just convenient. You understand? And I was ready to pay her back. It's just that my sister said I shouldn't worry. And by the time I eventually told my mom said, oh, it's okay, don't worry.
And now you're saying that someone told you, so I will not do it to you, because you've been hearing me saying I'll do it to you.
No, you can't even try it. So I come from a home where my mom has 3 cars, Abby. How many cars does she have now?
2.
Plus the Kia, the one that they always cover.
Yes, for Auntie Lola.
It's not for Auntie Lola. It's for my mom, but Lola uses it when she goes there.
She told me so, Lola.
Maybe she's trying to code from you, so you not think she has too many cars. It's actually not my sister's car. It's my mother's car, but it's my mother's 3rd car. So my mother has 3 cars. My mother lives in a big house, a house that's bigger than mine, right?
Yes.
She has everything she needs. Everything she needs. She's doing well financially. She always sets aside something for each of her grandchildren every month. All my mother's grandchildren benefit from her. Or not all, but from every family, there's some contribution for every grandchild monthly or annually, as the case may be. I've never given my mother 1 naira. I've never had the need. My mother has never called me and asked me. If she calls me, if I call my mother now and I tell her, Mommy, I'm going to the UK, my mother will ask, as old as I am, my mother asks me, do you need money? Of course, I tell her I don't need money. But she's always asking, My dad, on the other hand, is a different story. He doesn't ask much, and I also don't give much. I don't put anybody on any salary. I have children to raise. How do I put it? My parents were professionals. My father went to study medicine abroad. I don't see why I should raise him in his old age. My mother is a professor of law. I don't see why. And I have a balance. Most people in the comment section don't have a balance. They come from very poor backgrounds. So they only think in that poor, my mother sold her last wrapper to send me to school. So I owe her for the rest of my life. And that way, unless I'm really big and a billionaire, that doesn't feel it. If I'm a billionaire and I make $500 million every month, I can put my mother on a 2 million, 3 million naira salary a month and not feel it. But the rest of you, you will struggle and be feeding your mother and feeding your father, and then you are not able to raise your children, and then the deficit of the old is carried over into the new, and you can't. First things first, I went to a secondary school where most of my friends came from well-to-do homes. I went to school with Afe Babalola's daughter. Afe Babalola is 90. He's still a billionaire. He's still donating 50 billion to charity here, so he's still a billionaire. He's my mom's boss. He pays my mom's salary, so you can imagine how rich he is. I went to school with his daughter. I went to school with Oba Otudeko's son, Femi. We're classmates. I went to school with so many of these people. I don't see Femi Otudeko feeding Oba Otudeko. I don't see Afe Babalola's kids taking care of their dad in old age. These were my classmates. So, yes, I have those poor people whose parents had to sell everything to send them to school. But I also have a balance. There's also the other side, the educated ones, the entrepreneurs who, even in old age, are still billionaires. And then I also have my cousins abroad. I don't have a single cousin abroad that is taking care of their parents. All my cousins abroad, their parents did well enough to be able to take care of themselves and take care of their children. I went into Romania in 2018, and one of my cousins, who's an only child, was driving a brand new car. And I was like, oh, wow, this is a nice car. I said, my dad got it for me. Those are the kind of narratives. The one that their dad did not get car for, their dad got house for. You know, abroad, is it that they give them the plot of land and help them? One of my other cousins, the dad and the husband built the house together. The dad will come every evening, and so that I have to raise my parents in old age is not a narrative where I come from 100%. So I don't. Just wait a bit. Don't be angry. I want to get all my thoughts out. Now, I don't believe my opinion. If you grew up poor, your opinion might be different. All of you lived in the same hood. Your parents sacrificed everything to the point where they have nothing, and then they raised you, and then you owe them. It's a narrative, but it's not my narrative. And I don't believe that any parent should be entitled to my money. I don't believe in. I believe if you have issues, I can help you. But that I will put you on a monthly salary. I will not even, no matter how rich I am, I don't see why I should put a parent on a monthly salary. Why? Do I not have things to do with my money? Do I not have my own charity projects? Do I not have children? Do my children not have needs? Do I not also have needs? My opinion, I don't know what the Bible says, honor your father and your mother. Honor does not mean give them money. I don't know how everything in Nigeria is monetized, including honor. It's annoying. Do you understand? It's annoying. Now, I don't have a problem with you deciding. It's your money. You wake up one day and you decide that my father is old. Let me get him a car. Let me get him a driver and put him on a salary. No problem. It's your prerogative. However, I will not like it if my father believes that I should put him on a salary, or my mother believes that it is his right for me to put them on a salary. It will not end well. My mouth is not good as it is like this. That is how it will be, because I will ask you questions that come, Baba or Mama. When you were working, did you not save for your old age? Why is it my own that I have children to take care of? Out of my children's own, I'll now be giving to you. Then among my friends, I also note this narrative. And sometimes the husband would give to his parents and not give to his wife's parents, and then the wife would have an issue with it. There's something I posted on my page earlier on today. I want to touch all the angles of this conversation. Look at it. From Mimi Winifred's page. Good morning. This is a quick question. I'm married and pregnant with my first baby. I'm not working. Hubby is earning 280k monthly. He gives his parents and siblings 80k monthly.
Wait, sorry, she's still married to this man?
Yes. gives his parents and siblings 80K monthly, gives me 150K, but has never given my parents or siblings money for 6 months that we have been married. I told him we need to be rotating it. At least give your parents this month and give mine next month. He said no. If I want to give my parents, I should do that from the 150K he gives me. Things are costly. The 150K isn't even enough, and he's saying I should take from it. First of all, unless this story is a blatant lie, 280K minus 150K leaves you with what?
To what?
280K minus 150K leaves you with what?
130.
130K. Out of the 130K, his parents and siblings take 80K. That leaves him with what?
Out of the 130K.
His parents and siblings get 80K.
Each.
No, as in just 180K payment to cover his family.
50K.
50K, Abi. So he has 50K for himself, but he gives his wife 150K to sort out the house, sort out her own needs, blah, 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 blah. First of all, if I'm earning 280K, like hell, I'm not giving my wife 150K. And like hell, I'm not giving my parents 80K. For what? They'll be lucky if they got 28K, which is 10% of the money. They would be lucky that I want to be giving them monthly. I will not give them money. If they have a project, oh, this time we need 100K. Okay, I'll give them 100K. But that every month, because my problem with that monthly thing, it becomes an entitlement. The day you don't send it, they will tell you you've not sent us our monthly salary. I don't believe this particular story, but it sounds a little ridiculous. Which day does this guy want? So every month, he goes and works 280K more amount of work. But then he gets 50K inside it for himself. How is he going to invest in himself? How is he going to grow himself? So the bulk of his money goes to his wife, and the other bulk goes to his family. First of all, I'm not raising any of my father's children. I will never do it. If my father did it, he's well and good. I'm not saying it's bad. I will not do it. I will raise my own children. So that one that you are taking care of your siblings, I think is a bit of a far cry. If your parents are late and then you have young children, young siblings that need to go to school and your parents are old and blah, 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 it's different. But how do parents manage to hand over the deficit of their generation to the oncoming? As in, is the kind of madness we see in Africa, and we don't call it its name. We don't call it that. We don't say it is madness. We say it is our culture. Stupidity cannot be our culture. I'm sorry, if you're going to get angry. Be my guest. Have a field day. Do you understand? My mother's father, my mother, not me, my mother. My mother's father had 2 children. My mother and Uncle Gigi. Only 2. I don't have cousins in Romania that are 3. They're either 1 or 2. And they're all sorted. All my cousins abroad, all, not 80%. My cousins in Nigeria, I have some that their fathers had 11. Their fathers had 8. Their father has 3 wives and this. You understand? How do we explain? How do we call that culture? You are not wealthy. There are some indulgences that should be entitlements of only the wealthy. That's why when I'm looking at somebody like Yul Edochie, you no get money, you won't get. Nobody say you no get money. He's not poor, but by you no get money,
do we know?
But you are not on the level of MK Wabiola or Ned Nwoko Jr. You understand? Obviously, from the way he and his wife are falling out, he can't afford to really keep 2 homes. You see, there are some things
Wait, how do we know that's a financial issue and not an emotional issue?
I think it's a combination of, you don't know what a financial issue is. Don't you watch his wife? How many times have you seen his wife fly business class or first class?
I don't watch any of
sorry,
them.
I've seen his wife. There's an amount of wealth you will have. The wife will just tie her face and leave you. She will not even want to lose you to another woman. Now Africa will day. There's an amount of wealth you will have. Your wife will not fight you. Do you understand? She will fight you, but she will fight you with wisdom.
Why are you saying this is Africa? If I was the wife, what do you think I'll do? I'll tie my face and sit down there. What? No, I'm asking you. What
Someone
do you think
said, leave you alone.
What
I'm
do you
not
think I would
insulting
do?
him.
That
And D, Obedion, if I hear one more comment from you, I'll remove you. You cannot tell me what to say on my page. Go to your own page and discuss your own issues. So, those are my issues. And I think we need to also call our parents to order, especially with regards to dumb things they did, like have too many children. I don't know how they robe certain things into culture. It's not our culture to have 7 children.
And even if it is
our choice. Otedola now, even as you now, the funny thing is, Otedola will not have 2 wives. He will have only 1 wife. But you that you are managing, you now have 2 wives. So you need to also look at the Western world. My sister was saying that she was at work one day and everybody was talking. They were giving them bonuses of, I think, $4,000. And everybody was like, oh, wow, if I get that bonus, I'm going on a holiday to Madrid. Oh, I'm going to the Maldives. I'm going this. Then one Nigerian girl said, thank God that this money is coming in. I'll finally be able to fix the roof in the village house. And I'll be able to send my brother the money he needs for his wedding. And everybody looked at her and said, wow. And then my sister laughed and said, we come from a third world country. Those are our third world issues. You get a bonus, and the first thing you're looking at is how to take care of the deficit of the previous government. And you see it in family life.
It's something I can do, but not wedding, because that's not a necessity. How big is this wedding?
Very good. Now, look at Jonathan. Jonathan inherited Yaradua's deficit. So while he's trying to work to make the future, he has to keep paying the loans of the past. Buhari came in and inherited Jonathan's own. Which day are we going to have a clean slate and be able to actually walk forward instead of hustling backwards? So, I hand over to you, Yella.
Okay. Finally.
Sorry. There was a lot I needed to say.
So anyways, what I wanted to say here, that you don't get angry. See, I feel like the reason why Nigerians are like this is because, like, I think all Nigerian, like, parents, Nigerians generally, we are somehow traumatized and we do not know that we are traumatized, because for you to feel like you have to do all these things for your parents, it's like when you're in a relationship and your partner is doing bare minimum. Do you understand? There are things you expect from your partner. Like, we're still talking about the same Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk said, you do not owe your parents anything, but parents owe their children everything. Because there's this thing I used to say, and my mom would get so pissed if I said it. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, your kids didn't ask you to have them. Do you understand?
Thank you. So, is this what you said that you think I'll get angry about?
No. I'm not done.
Oh, okay. So, the stray bullets still they come.
This is the one that used to vex mommy. Like, but nobody actually asked you to have those kids. Do you understand? So, you actually owe them everything. You shouldn't bring them in to a world to suffer. And that's what we usually do. Do you understand? Whether you have the finances to actually take care of that child or not. And then you make your kids feel like burdens. Not like they literally grow up feeling like some kind of burden, even if they don't hate you for it or anything. But you do not know that you print it into their head every time you say, I feed you, I clothe you, I did. I'm sorry, you might not want to have me as a kid, because, like, I'll just be looking at you like, but you're meant to. I'm sorry. Because it is bare minimum. You brought me. What did you want to do before? Then you now start telling your kids things like, do you know that there are people that they gave birth to and they threw them inside, the gutter? They threw them inside the dustbin.
So you that did not throw me inside the dustbin, you did me a favor.
Yeah, you did me a favor. Like,
okay.
What? You had me. You're meant to take care of me. Do you understand? Like, everything boils down to emotions. It's like
there was an option. It's called D&C.
Yes, and then you guys don't do it because of your pastors.
Of your pastors. So you are not doing the D&C, but then you are bringing the child to the world and then telling the child all the regrets that you should, how the child stopped you from being beautiful, how the child stopped your career, how the child.
I won't even answer you. I won't even feel bad for you. Like what? I won't look at you twice. Like honestly, because it's just the way I think. You are doing. It's like me and you are dating. You're telling me I listen to you when you do, and I don't know. Like you are literally telling me to be grateful for the bare minimum.
Now, what would I do for you that you consider is not bare minimum?
As in, as a parent or as
a parent?
As a not bare minimum. To me, it's things like, okay, if he sent me to school, education, like to me that's bare minimum. But when you actually went out of your way to get me the best education, you didn't need to do that. Do you understand? All I needed was maybe a school of 50k that will actually, there are schools of 50k, 60k that will actually do me. But no, you went at, that's the thing. And children are also not grateful. Do you understand? Sometimes, because when your parents actually have money, they can put you in schools that actually like impact you and don't have AC, don't have a nice football field, don't have all these FEZ. Do you understand? But then your parents actually put you in those schools. I've met someone who I knew his daddy had money. His daddy had money, but his school was so cheap. Do you understand? So like me, I'll look at myself and I'll obviously be feeling like, yeah, they pampered me. So so that's not bare minimum. Do you understand? But when you start saying things like, oh, we're educating you, we're feeding you, what? Do you understand? You can give me bread and butter every day, but then you choose to take me to Eric Case, you choose to take me to Echo Hotel. Do you understand? That's what I'm talking about. But don't be telling your children things like, we feed you with. You're meant to feed, educate, and clothe your children.
I have an Egbon in the building. Ali Baba is an Egbon. I would love to hear
You're meant to support your parents on your own.
I would love to hear his opinion on
but
this.
Actually, if your parents are struggling, and you don't support them, that's actually on your conscience. It's actually on your
now you need to understand what the support is. Feeding. If your parents can't feed, it is up to you to feed them. You understand? If your parents need medication and can't get medication, it is up to you to get them medication. Those are bare minimums. I'm using your words, right? But your mother wants to wear the ashwebi that they are using in the village for that activity. Is not up to you. Is if you have it, if you can afford it. Your mother needs to move into a bigger house. That is no longer your bare minimum. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. Continue. I just wanted to bring Ali in. I hope I can invite him. Yes. Church festival. So
I was just giving examples. So I was going to talk about my prom dress, but I don't want to disclose the price. But like, my prom dress was really it. So. Yes. So
now, let me ask you a question. When you're old and working, for instance, how much of your salary will you give me in percentage? And don't lie. Don't say because they are watching you. Don't lie.
At least I will give you my salary.
How much of it am I entitled to?
You're not entitled to any of it.
Good.
But I will give to you. I said will, not might. Unless you do something very serious to me later. I don't know. But I will give to you.
To be very honest, you don't owe me anything. If I'm sick or if I need help, then that's a totally different perspective.
Then why will you?
You don't owe me.
No, I'm talking about like
if you're sick, yes, and I can't afford to pay my hospital bills or I can't afford to feed.
That's biblically read.
Aside from biblically, it's also responsibility, which should actually be your government's responsibility. But because you have a failed government, it now becomes the children's responsibility. third world problems. Abroad, your parents, if they worked all their lives, they would have some sort of a pension, they will have some sort of NHS plan, they would have paid their mortgage to a point where they live in their own house. Abroad has a way of taking care of old people. That's why people live long abroad and they don't live long here.
But we live long in the village. We live long in the village.
In Nigeria, they just the age expectancy rate in Nigeria is about 60 years. I don't see that as long. So let's open up the phone lines. Miss Thickness was talking.
I think it's something else I wanted to ask. Why do people want to live so long?
It's a conversation we'll have another day because it now becomes too many conversations. You and I have had that conversation before. Wowza is here. Miss Thickness is here. Ada too is here. Let me bring Ada in. Hey, Ada. Go live with Ada. Let me tell you something here.
Yes, but before I started cortical, it took me 2 years. Just being a crazy without your case, it would start.
Oh my god.
Good morning, Daddy Freeze.
Hi.
Hey.
Yes. Right.
Let's talk.
All right. So, Ada, what is your
Yes. What
is your take?
I honestly think it should not be parents should not be entitled rather to their kids' money or possessions. I think so. Because you brought me to this world. It's your right to take care of me. And it's an option. It's a choice for me to take care of you. Not that I'm not going to be supportive to my parents. Yes, of course, if they need help and I can provide. But I don't think it's my father's or my mother's right to now say, oh, I brought you to this world. You're now making money. You should take care of me. No. That doesn't make sense to me. My kids should be entitled to my money because I brought them. I took that decision to have sex and make them. So yes, they were minding their business wherever they were. I brought them. So I should take care of them. But my parents, no.
Because a lot of people were saying that Elon Musk's father was complaining that Elon Musk was asking too many questions. If he asked for money, that he asked too many questions. And I
asked my dad too.
You need my money. What do you need it for?
Exactly.
We was playing, go back and forth. We can be back and forth for like 3 days.
I still ask my dad questions. If he tells me I need like 200K, I'm like, why? You just don't expect me to go to my bank account and withdraw because you're my dad. No, I had plans for that money.
From Elon Musk.
And this is coming from Elon Musk, the richest man in the world.
Do you understand?
You have to know that he has some kind of beef.
No. This is something we need to talk about. His father impregnated his stepdaughter. Of course, he's also not proud of his father. Why do we always have to believe that previous are proud of? Are we proud of them?
True that.
I don't wake up and look at the fact that that is the way it is because our parents failed us. All they did was pray and make. They inherited Nigeria from the British government in 1960. Nigeria had oil, cocoa, groundnut, timber, as I said, timber, rubber, so many things. Then all of a sudden now, Nigeria is nothing. Nigeria is broke. It's broke because of the decisions they took. They didn't think as a collective. You say, okay, don't compare us to America. America is developed, or Germany. They've all been through their own. Singapore, Dubai, these are countries we're older than. So I got my lovely sister Deborah here. I'm going to be joining Deborah live Wednesday evening.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Wednesday evening, so look out for that. I don't know what kind of question she's going to be asking me, but that Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock Nigerian time, I hope.
Yeah.
All right. So what is your take? Is the reason why I brought you here today because I know you live in Germany.
Yeah.
And I don't know what your situation with your parents is. Your parents in Nigeria or abroad?
Yeah, my dad was here. My mom never came here, so she's in Nigeria. So the reason I even started taking care of my mom wasn't because, oh, she's my mom or I have to, because over here our mentality is very different. You get, like,
Mm.
we don't think about all that because you brought us here, so you're supposed to actually have your retirement plan in check. You have to have money for your old age to take care of yourself. You get, that's how it is over here. But I decided to help her because my dad took us from her when we were like 6, so she was alone for so many years. So as a woman, I felt bad for her because I knew how we would feel if someone just took away my kids. I don't know if they're alive or dead or whatever. So that's the reason I decided to take care of her. It wasn't because she's my mom, because at the end of it, she still doesn't really know me because she missed out on so many years. You get, so that's my own intake. I just help her because I want to, not because she's my mom. You know, it's just a
What about
choice.
your dad? Do you help him out?
No,
Why?
because I don't want to cast him because I don't help him. But once in a while, in the blue moon, when he decides to call me and decides to remember that he has a daughter and he's looking for money for the sake of God, I help him. But on the norm, I don't. We don't
That
talk, you know.
sorry,
So
I'm putting you on the spot. That means you
no,
don't
no,
have
no,
a
it's fine. No, 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 no.
and he lives in Germany.
I think you should be back. I don't know. He used me to get back to Germany. I don't know where he is right now. I shall know that he's alive. He's healthy. He's still doing his runs. He's fine. He's still a baby boy. He's
How old is your dad?
he's 56, but he still
Wow.
acts like 26. So yeah. He's still a
Mm.
baby boy.
Ooh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that,
No.
Deborah. This is indeed a touching topic, and there are going to be a variety of opinions. What do you think
About what?
about what she said, about what Ada said?
It's, you know when he said, because she's your mom, what she had to do.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm very sure there are women who have gone through the same thing your mom has gone through.
Mm-hmm.
You met another woman who told you that same story. Would you help her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, somebody else has joined us. Now, we tend to, in Nigeria, have you ever called your parents to order before?
Yes. I did.
Yes.
My mom thought that the Angel Mike is going to blow the trumpet. The world is coming to an end. She literally called everybody callable to say I hated her, even though I just literally told her my mind in a respectful manner. Like she did not understand why I told her my mind. Like she just felt like parents are always right. I'm like, no,
Mm-hmm.
always right. If you're wrong, I'll tell you you're wrong, and that's what it is. You have to accept it. For 1 month, she wanted to die. After that 1 month, she still came back and said, "Okay, I'm sorry." I said, "That's all you have to say in the beginning. Just accept my feelings, accept the way I feel. Just say you're sorry. We talk about it and we move on. No one is hating you for saying their mind. You get, but they don't really. They're not used to kids telling them how they feel.
Sure.
You know, they're not used to that at all. So
Mm.
what
Sure.
you do is as if you're disrespecting them, but no.
Oh my God. On
I,
top of
I,
this,
I, I quite I quite agree. I think in the year 2020, I had an altercation with my dad. It was like a shock to him because I mean, who would ever think that a child in Nigeria would just stand up to his or her parents? But when I spoke to him, I told him how I felt, and we got that disagreement. He didn't talk to me for 3 months. It was
There,
a struggle. I was missing him, but I said to myself, if this is the only way to prove to him that he was wrong and he should actually know that kids have their rights, fine. And he went on after 3 months. He called me and he apologized. I
yeah,
was
they
like,
will
okay,
apologize.
yeah. Took a while though, but he came around.
Oh, wow.
wait, do you ever feel like sometimes when you're like saying your mind to your parents and you know you're making sense, like you know that you're right. Do you ever feel like now they just get angry? They'll just get angry.
Someone
No,
said
I was to
that
say it.
called something and he disowned me.
Damn.
Ah.
That's serious.
Ah.
It's the kind of thing you hear. Someone said my father, guys, most Nigerian parents will not have.
But I think the only reason they will also apologize if you are the one taking care of them.
Oh,
Because
then they
that way
have
they
no.
wouldn't want to lose that person helping them out. So they will definitely come back and apologize.
So that's the
Is
thing.
that
They're
what it
actually
is?
not sorry. They're just doing it for their selfish interest.
Yes. You don't know them.
But there are some things which is good. Your situation,
At least, yeah.
but if your situation were better, you will not. So because
Exactly.
someone has humbled you, you are now saying sorry. Someone said my dad has never apologized to me. I think
Don't
my
worry,
dad.
they'll find different ways up. They will not say I'm sorry, but they'll find a way to say sorry.
Yeah, African parents hardly say sorry. They come around with care. Do you want this? I got you this. Oh,
Look,
come around.
You
There is
want
this.
food?
the luck, the luck I have with my mom is my mom is Oyinbo.
Mm.
Down for my mom steady. Once she just enter straight and you know. But I remember when I was having a conversation with my younger sister. They were complaining about my ex. They were saying, she did this, she. I said, you people knew all of these things. I never told you. They said, who wants your trouble? Nobody wants your trouble. So they just let sleeping dogs lie. So I felt very bad. I'm like, oh, so have I become this brother and son that is so unapproachable? Nobody can even tell me things. Because from a young age, I had to fight to be what I wanted to be. They will not hear it. They want you to. They wanted. My father did not outrightly tell me he wanted me to be a doctor, but he used to use my mother to manipulate me. Then my mother would come and tell me to be a doctor. And I have long fingers. My mom said, oh, your fingers are so long. You make such a good son. Why are you not thinking of piano? Why are you And I used to look for her trouble then. There was one day I remember last we're driving past the cemetery. I said, Mommy, this cemetery, if I were a doctor, would be twice this size. It feels people someone that have cut open and then they have phone call. I say, wait, I want to go and answer my phone. Or I even leave the phone. They say, doctors, I will leave my car jack, spare tire. I'll be looking for my.
Oh God, please, oh.
Me that I have the attention span of a goldfish. You want me to be cutting people's children open?
Someone said, what's it called? My mom disrespected my wife, and I asked her to apologize,
and she didn't. And we ended up not talking for almost 4 years.
Sir, what happened?
Whoa, 4 years.
Good.
4 years is a long time, though. Wow.
Wife. Your mother cannot disrespect your wife.
And then that's mean that all these things.
I'm your mother. What are we doing to my mother in front of my mother will not even try. Me and my wife can now go and fight our ears off in the room. But that public wife side over my mother first. Let my mother first know that this is my home. Don't come and spoil it for me. So my mother will see all those kind of things and know that, oh, no, I will not even know. And luckily for me, I don't have a mother that chokes out.
Is that, yeah.
Luckily. I don't even have a mother-in-law that chokes mouth. I'm lucky. But if I had a mother that would come and be drawing line on the floor for my wife, what she will hear from me, you brought me to this world, okay, so what am I going to do? The wife my house with me, giving me peace. You want to scatter the equilibrium because you brought me to the world 40 years ago. Please take me back from the world if that's what you want. You had a choice. You could have used posting. You could have done dancing.
Did they have posted out there?
Whatever it is.
I think they were using lime and salt then.
Crest.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that they were drinking then. Crest. Yes. They could have drank. And as long as you did not drink it, and I'm like this, I'm okay. Please stay on your. Never respect your wife unless your wife is outrightly rude.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question. You and your husband want to go out and your mother is there. Who sits in front?
Actually, it's me, but I'll allow my mama. If I feel like go, I can let her sit in front. But normally,
Whoever gets there
you say
first.
whoever gets there first.
I'm not keen on front seat too.
Me, I will tell my mother to go to the back. Me and,
In the front.
me and my wife are driving. Why is my mother sitting beside me and my wife at the back?
You out.
Yes,
Oh yeah, then yeah, she can be in the back.
You
Yeah.
need to have that mentality. Why is your mother dragging seat with your husband? And you, why your wife sit? If your mother comes to sit in front, tell your mother to go to the back and tell your wife to come to the front.
Enter the car, just stand outside like
True. Normally, the wife would just go to the front.
Hold on. Let me tell you something.
It will even be funny.
My younger sister, my mother's last born, I was talking to her on the phone the other day, and I was talking about something important. Her husband now called, and she now said, my husband's calling, I'll call you back. I wanted to be angry. I just thought about that. Come. This her husband, though. She's no longer my she's not my wife. Let me just behave myself. I had to talk. I said, am I mad? Am I angry in the house? Off the phone.
Oh man.
Need to actually put people in their place. Sometimes they don't know their place.
Some people actually overplay their part.
True.
Know their place.
Yes.
True.
Listen, courtesy. A man and his wife. Now, for instance, if I'm going out with my friend and my wife and her friend, me and my friend can sit in front and my wife and her friend can sit at the back.
There's equilibrium.
There's equilibrium.
Mm-hmm.
Or two couples, me and my wife, she and her husband were going on a date. Me and the husband can sit in front, she and my wife can sit at the back.
We just
Equilibrium. But me and my friend and my wife are going, unless now, if me and my friend are driving to go and pick my wife can enter the back. If me and are driving and we're going to pick my wife can enter the back. But that me and are walking to the car with my wife at the same time, my mother has to go and sit at the back. You need to let your mother or father know their place.
Quite agree.
Do they need to teach you these things? Do they teach you that when it rains, you open umbrella? No. Do they teach you that when you get gunshot, you hide and run? Don't teach you all those things. Do somebody need to open a book, Elementary 101, etiquette in front of sons and in-laws and other children? When you are approaching the car, do not drag front seat because it is your son's car.
No, they need that book. They need that book.
That night, if I might be a woman and my mother-in-law do that with my husband, they will sleep together. As you come back, they will make love that you and your husband, your son, you don't talk to him wife.
Okay, that means I have to go back on
Oh,
air. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
Okay.
Daniela, what do you think? Maybe I'm the one that is wrong.
No, you're completely right. Like,
why?
I
Where
really
does that
know,
sense
like,
of entitlement even come
it
from?
just made me get irritated with mama's boys. Like, yeah, I get
that's the word.
but yeah, I get scared when I see guys who are like, oh, my mom. Like, just know, I beg. Both of us will start forwards.
I'm very close to my mom, but nonetheless, I know where to draw the line. It's just that some people don't have a clue. They don't know how to draw line.
Hi, Daddy Freeze.
Neka Spiff.
Hi.
Well, what is your take?
Good morning.
Well, which
Yeah,
one? The one I'm most interested in is he having a child with his stepdaughter. I am a single mom, and that worries me. And yeah. So I do have a daughter, and when I think about having a relationship, I'm scared because I want to find a man who is going to love my child.
What's the noise?
You know.
Mom, what's the noise?
now, also on something, let me explain it to you.
It's falling down, Mom.
Man loves you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Loves you, loves everything about you, but maybe a religious reason, you say, you know what, you're not going to marry him. And then you break up with him for a religious reason. Or for sickle cell reasons. He, you are, and then you guys come. And then he sees your daughter that looks like you, was raised by you, has all your qualities, and the girl is AA.
Wait, first of all, there are recessive genes, so why
No.
why not?
AS, you can't. AS, they will not even allow you to. Even the government will not allow you to marry unless you sneak
Wait,
past them.
what and what?
AS. But you can do AA, or AS.
And the guy is AS.
The guy is AS, yes. So, like I was saying, so you now see the daughter. The daughter is now AA because maybe her own father was AA. So she's now AA. She has all the qualities the mother has, looks like her mom, is beautiful like her mom, was raised by her mom, can cook like her mom, can do all those things her mom could. And then the two of you now happen to be close. So some silly situations can present themselves. Do you understand? I think it's a bit twisted. I think it's rather twisted. But I don't think it's something you can avoid.
That
Do
is
you understand?
But in this case, we're talking about your stepdaughter, right? That means you were actually married to this woman, right?
Yeah,
For the
you raised
child,
that child.
yeah, for the child to
No.
qualify as a step.
Here's one thing. The child was 4 years old when
Yes.
Elon's father married her mother.
So he raised
So
that
he was
child.
the dad. Yeah, he raised her.
Yeah, he was the father to that child. I have a 3-year-old, and
Yes.
say again, yeah. So are you saying that a man that I get married to like next year shouldn't see my child as his? That child belongs to you because she's still a baby. You raised
Right.
that child. You know, that worries me. I mean, aside everything we're talking about, I mean, I have a
Someone said
mom
he
who
needs
would
jail. She was not, you see, that's what you people don't understand. She was not 8, she was older than 18 when he married her. She was
Yeah.
an adult.
So it's actually not a crime.
He's
yeah.
not committing
Yeah, it's not a
crime.
crime. Yeah.
What he just
Yeah.
did was something smelly. You
That's
understand?
very nasty.
It is. Because now the mom's going to wonder, has he been in love with my daughter since she was small? Was he just grooming
Oh,
her for her to get
exactly. Maybe he
It's
was
big.
grooming her. And now you're having all the thoughts in your head, all the times you left them all alone. Like,
alone?
yeah.
Man is a man or not. She's always going to wonder, like,
How?
and you could actually read some, like,
Animosity.
yes, between both of them.
No, but the daughter said, I don't understand. Your
You know,
Exactly.
like us, we have to always get out. When people don't think, they don't reason things like Nigerian people reason it to the village, reason it to the church. And they're okay, we're not blood ties, so there's no inbreeding.
right, but still, like, how would you do that to your mom? I don't know. That was something.
So, yeah, talking about being entitled, like, sorry, Ella, were you saying something?
Mommy, that was wicked.
Yeah, talking about being entitled, our parents being entitled, it's a Nigerian thing. I mean, I'm lucky my mom doesn't really have to depend on me for anything, but I still see a need to at least give her something from my earnings. It's something I do out of, you know, that maybe that was how I was raised. Yeah, but if I don't give her, she doesn't complain. It's not like it's a big deal. But I just say, hey, every month I want to give you this just to say thank you, not because you need it.
Yes, I feel like it's also like it's a very good thing to say thank you. But that's the thing. It's like, you know, when they say, I just feel like it's all about love, because it hits different when somebody has, let's say, 25 million and they tell you they love you, and then they give you 1 million. 1 million is a lot, but out of 25 million, then somebody only has 100K and gives you 50K.
you understand there's a difference? And they tell you they love you. Do you understand? It's from what you have that you give. Do you understand? And then I know my parents have this, and then they didn't decide to give me bread and butter every day and send me to a mediocre school and give me, like, not send me to prom because my prom dress would cost something. Do you understand what I'm saying? They went all out for me, and because of that, I want to give this to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they still have taken care of me and all of that and giving me, like I said, the bare minimum. Yeah, but they chose not to. So, yeah. True.
I think we should just take one more contribution. Who wants to join us? Let's just hear one more perspective.
All right, Daddy Freeze, I'll go off.
We have space, don't worry. I don't want you to run off. Where are you running off?
There's this space.
Space for one more person to share. See, Elon Musk himself no normal. If you reason him, none of us normal. None of us normal. Let me tell you, there was a story I read one day. One girl just went to her family group and says, she needs money. Oh, that is it possible for anybody to borrow her some money? And her uncle now DM'd her privately. I said, come, are you okay? Are you broke? I said, no, that she just wrote it there so that nobody will come and ask them for money. So you see, let me tell you, one of the reasons why I don't put anybody on a monthly salary is I'd rather you have a problem, you ask me, I give you. The moment I put you on a monthly salary, it becomes my responsibility. Whether I have or I don't have, I have to find it for you. So I don't like putting myself under pressure. If you ask me for 10 things and I give you 9, and the day you ask me for the 10th one, I'm not so okay financially, I can tell you no, and you not take it bad. But it becomes your salary. Even you, it's unfair to you because you start budgeting with it. Every month I get 20K from this person, so it will go to this. Then the month that one doesn't come in, that's why I don't do anything monthly for anybody. You understand? I don't work in a situation where I per se earn monthly and I earn anytime during the month. So for me to tie down at the end of the month, I owe you this, I owe you this. What if I have things I want to do that particular month?
Oh my God.
Say it. What's making you laugh?
I'm not sure if something happened in 100 level.
What happened?
Okay, so you see this thing I was talking about, the person starts relying on it. Like, I did one very stupid thing in 100 level. Like, when I'm in 100 level, so you know your parents are like sending you your allowance, like, buy this thing. I didn't need this thing, but I saw this thing and I liked it. I was like, I want to buy it. And it was my last card. I was like, my allowance is coming tomorrow.
You know, bought it.
I bought it, my allowance didn't come the next day.
Hi, Daddy Freeze.
It came like 2 days later.
Oh, but that's still not bad.
Man, this is a very important it's a very important topic.
Do you have a certain amount of money? They'll be wondering what did you
This
all right, we've got a fine gentleman here and we're rounding this off. Go ahead.
Yeah. As regards to Elon Musk's issue,
yes,
I don't think it's right. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to go into she's an adult. The fact is that he could be able to do that probably because of the system of where he lives. But as far as I'm concerned, it's not right. Because I believe that child has been living with him since when she was 4 years old. So I don't think it's right.
It's about the system. It happens.
Who married her? They have 2 kids.
Everywhere in the world.
Yeah, I don't think it's right. To be honest, but obviously, it's because he has money. That's why a lot of people might not see it.
Those that don't have money still have something with their stepchildren.
No, that's is different. No, that's a different thing because that's one they are not married.
But that's what I'm telling you, that it's not a system. It happens everywhere in the world. It's not a new thing. The reason it's blown out now is because he's who he is. You get what I'm saying? But it happens on the norm every single day.
Yeah, but I think it's bad though. To me,
It
I
is
don't
bad,
think it's
but
bad.
that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. That's what
But
I'm saying.
all the new abnormalities that like happen in the world, there's always a thing of Gen Z. Gen
Yes,
Z.
yes, Gen
Gen
Z.
Z. Gen Z wants to identify as cats now. Yeah. And like, guy, where is this guy from that he just got problem?
And again, you said something again that is very interesting as regards to parents, you helping your parents. I believe it's mandatory. I'm not going to say I believe it's mandatory for you to help your parents, even though they have it, they don't ask. Because our parents at times they suffered to send us to school. They can as well use that money to do something else, maybe a business instead of putting in a private school. Or instead of putting in a private school, just put in a public school. As for children in public school to do they do hands-on sex afterwards. They decided to send you to like a private university where you know fully that is because your
My
parent
parents
has
is
that money.
private university.
Sorry?
My parents don't send me to any
Why
private.
do
I
you
went
see
to
like
It's because that is
so, all right.
when you were growing up, there was no private university then.
There was
You're trying to say that
my
it's
mates
old.
that went to
Old.
university as in school.
Yeah, but however, nowadays a lot of people prefer private university though, for some reason. But may I enjoy the days that university was university. One of my favorite university was UI. Unfortunately, I didn't go to UI.
That's
That
why
was
I
what.
went enjoyed it.
No, you're lucky now because anybody that go to, I see them as like ambassadors of knowledge. I love that school so much. That school is awesome. I swear down, man. That school has some prototype of that school. You can see it in um University of London. Yeah, some of the buildings is just exactly the same. So if I'm going to talk about that, I believe because your parents suffered, yeah, you meant to pay, at least put them on salary if you can, because at times our parents too plan for their future, but that country messed them up, to be honest. Some
They are
plan for their future.
country up. Can we stop blaming the country and start blaming our parents for messing the country up?
wait.
No. I used to tell my father that, yeah, your generation, yeah, mortgage our future. I don't know how God will forgive your generation. I don't know.
You
I
know
can't
how
even recollect. It's true. Our parents, yeah, they had almost everything free,
Yes.
including textbooks, math sets, pen, food, up to university level. They had everything free. So why is it that when they are in government, they don't even reason it that population will be more than how they were before? They need to provide infrastructure and put things in place when we have all the facilities and we have all the money. If the country does not have the money, it's a different thing. But the country has the money to do it. Why did they decide to steal the money of generations to come? And that's the reason why hardly will you see generational wealth in Nigeria. You don't see it because all of them stole. All of them stole. There's no way you steal money and pass it to your son that your son didn't even know how to manage wealth, how to make wealth, and you expect your son to maintain it. It can't maintain it. That's just the truth.
Well, can we not be those parents that flog all the children in the house because one vase broke? Like, it's not. Do you understand what I mean? It's not.
It's not right, but that's their own method of discipline. Now we know better.
I'm saying it's not every old person that made the mistake.
True.
Not like all the old people in Nigeria that year didn't sit on the seats that Buhari sat on. Do you understand? So like, I don't know. Sometimes I also feel bad for them. I don't know. Because
But to be honest, you know why? Yeah, I believe some of those things were not good, but at the same time, it helped us. It helped us to face hard situation. I'm telling you, it's helped us because some of our, like me, okay, I finished secondary school in 1993. Yeah.
The year I finished too.
That means your age mate. You're saying is old.
Yeah.
I'm going 45 in the next 8 days. Wow. So
I'm 46, 76. He must have been 77.
Yeah, I'm 77. Yeah, you're just a year older than me.
1993.
So
wow,
now,
I was
yeah.
only 3 years old.
But I could literally see that it helped the way our parents trained us. It's harsh, but it helped us in some situation that you will choose not to steal at times if you don't want to. Why some people, they don't have choice than to steal because that's what they grew up saying. Some girls now that you see them doing whatever they do on the streets was just because that is what they grew up to see. That's what they see as success. You know, so at times it helps us. When we are growing up, you can't mess up on the streets. Another parent will slap you without knowing you from anywhere, and you can't rake for that person. But now, if it happens, that person will rake for you.
Straight.
But now one day it's not possible. Someone that you don't know before, you are wearing school uniform, you are smoking cigar, he will slap you from behind. Are you mad? Without even knowing you. At times they will follow you home. Are you the parent? This is what your child has done. Now, if you even do some children like that, that parents will tell you that what's your business?
What's your business?
Child? Who told you to? Who told you? That they say it in Yoruba or whatever. You know. So you know, there are a lot of things that our parents did for us that helped us, even though it was wrong. We can't do it now because we've known better. We have better methods of training children now. In those days, they might not have that method. As my father used to say, tell me that way back, that during the days of his own grandfather, that they don't use cane to train children. And I asked him, why do you use cane to train me? He said, because maybe it's the British way of training them in school.
What, did you use cane?
Of course. They do here, even in England, they stopped it, I think, maybe 70s or so. Yeah, it's called corporal punishment.
Yeah. I try not to use cane unless I'm very frustrated and angry.
No, you know me, I'm in England. If you cane your child,
trouble.
Just make sure that thing does not have Marco.
You'll just go and pick you up straight up.
No, they might not pick you up if your child if your child is trained enough to cover it up. But they will still investigate.
Not cover she up for anybody. If
no.
pinch them like this, they'll go and tell the whole world that you pinch them.
Because no, forget my own.
All these new babies, they don't
my daughter, I used to take her to the homes of all those people that they took for whom I take them to their hostel. Can you see how they feed? Can you see how they do?
So you're traumatizing.
So my own is that if you mess up at home,
some children
taking you there. Yeah, if you mess up at home, I'm taking you there. So when she behaves naughty and you smack her, she can't even report. Because she knew that if she messed up, that normally instead of that trashing, she was supposed to go to that home. So she preferred that trashing than to go to that home.
Wow.
So it's just method there. At the same time, it's not that. Another thing that try not to beat your children with anger, because that's what a lot of people do. When they are frustrated, they'll just
they'll beat their anger. They did not born.
I shout more when I'm frustrated, and I just shout. Then I calm down later, and I'm like, oh my God, why did I just shout?
I don't know how to shout too. Because when you shout, my child will tell you that, why are you screaming? Why are you shouting? What's your problem? What's wrong with you?
I can't live. I give up.
Yeah, and I will ask you that, can't you have a proper conversation with me if you're hungry?
Children nowadays, very smart.
He's going to ask you, can't you? Sorry?
My son's father beat him almost to stupor. What did he do? He said, Daddy, as in, Daddy, calm down.
Calm down, yeah.
You are telling me to calm down? Where the man, as in, our parents have a way of translating what you say. As in, when they translate that, you look at yourself like,
when did I say this?
How can this even ever imply this?
Everything is disrespect.
Yeah, it's disrespect. It's respect. But funny enough,
let me give you an example. I don't know why I'm so tired. My eyes are closing. Do you know that if my parents were to beat you 6 strokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're doing like this, the 7th will come on your head.
Yes.
Or as you turn around to be going, one will not come your back. They want to. Now, if you are crying too much, they'll still beat you the 6th. So you are crying. you were doing it, what were you thinking? Why? So as in, you can't just win.
You can't win them.
You can't win them. There's no way. Any turn you go there is a bad turn.
It's actually horrible. This country, like, it's scary. Like, that's why you told me the story of that. Was he your friend or one guy that he was in uni and he sent armed robbers to go and beat his parents?
Yes.
Or cultists to beat his, and then he went home and everyone was crying. You were like, "Ah, what happened? What happened?" He said, "Hey, they came and they beat us." We were like, "Ah, sorry."
Oh my God.
Do you understand? Like, you guys should stop.
That's wicked.
No, that's wicked.
But you're also, your children are human beings. They have they will hate you. Like, friend can't.
No, any child that hates the parents because they didn't really take care, they didn't show that child love.
But you know,
child love.
but African parents don't really show their kids love. We know, right?
And then your love is choking me as in it chokes.
Ibadan boys were, but yeah.
And then you don't want that kind of,
you know. Then another issue I had with my parents was religion. Anything my parents want to say in this life is about hellfire, is about God, is about, and I'm like, come. At what point are you people even human beings? I try to raise my children to be godly, but I also, as much as possible, try to let them be human beings first. Because I don't know how our parents, any small thing like this, God. I not like they were good people like that too. It was the time of God. They knew how to bring God up when it was our turn. When it's their own turn, God judge them. Now them go they fetch water for hellfire. No. So they follow it up. So it was, and our parents were hypocrites.
Yes.
They knew how to judge you with a different standard from judging themselves.
Exactly. They have standards, yeah.
You understand? I remember one time I cut my hair. You know, I used to always my father used to always complain about how my hair was bad. So he decided to call my auntie to come and lecture me. And from small, now I know well. That's why my auntie called me, say, the beauty of hair is meant for women. And my auntie is a pastor. That's why I went to bring Jesus picture. I said, who is this? Say it's Jesus. I said, how is his hair? You know, Oyinbo Jesus is rich hair.
Very long.
Yeah.
Long hair, like a hippie. I say, why hair reach in shoulder? You know, they see normal men or Igbo men where they cut their hair. Why your hair reach in shoulder? You are telling me Bible said, and this is the Jesus the Bible is talking about. Please. That's why my auntie keep quiet. She don't fit talk again. That's why I come around. You know? So it was always any small thing, God. We used to no. Me and my father fought over religion. Oh God, my father took it to a level as in you wake me up every morning at 5:30 to go and pray. And I used to tell you that, who told you that God is awake? God created us in his image. If I am tired, that means God that created me in his image is also tired, doesn't want to hear my problem this early morning. I said, what do you mean? I became atheist. So it got to a point I said, I don't even believe in any God again. If God wants me to wake up at 5:30, when I got home at 12 midnight, and I moved around, sorted myself out till 1 a.m., I'm now sleeping at 1 a.m. and I have to pray to God at 5:30 a.m. Where is this God running to? With this prayer, I cannot pray it at 7 a.m. because if I pray it at 7 a.m., God will have become angry and gone away.
Then they believe in family prayers. I don't know your age then, but I think that thing has to do with age. But my dad did in a different way. As far as they are living in my house, because my house used to be very big. We have 3 sitting rooms and 10 rooms. So he has so many family that lives with us, about 17 in the house. And some people have wife and children. Everybody, he doesn't want to know your age. If you are 50 years, you have to come downstairs for prayer.
Your papa no get time. Therefore, don't calm down.
Yeah, you said what?
If I don't, we go beat you.
Yeah.
Beat the point where I don't go to that. Because I understand if we have a weekly prayer as a family. But that early morning every day I must, and let me tell you, I used to like to sleep in the morning. My own sleep is that sleep that I wake up at 10 a.m. Ask them. I don't wake up if I wake up anytime before 30 a.m., maybe I want to catch a flight or have a meeting or have nothing wakes me up before 9, 10 in the morning. If I wake up, it's maybe because my wife woke up and then I just woke up because she's up. And I've always been like that since I was a kid. I don't like waking up in the morning. I'm not a morning person. Oh, go to bed early and wake in the morning. I don't enjoy it. I can't be working and be doing things I don't enjoy because I want to make money. Listen, if I'm going to make 100 million in my life, and if I wake up early, but if I don't wake up early, I will make 30 million. Give me the 30 million. Okay. I don't want to wake up early and eat the remaining 70 million. The remaining 70 million, I dash you. To me, being able to wake up when you want. I've not seen sunrise. As I talk to you, I've not seen sunrise in maybe 3 years.
Wow. The sunrise is beautiful.
It's beautiful. I want to see, but do I really want to give up my sleep?
But you sleep late though. You sleep late almost every day. So
Sleep time is slow, yeah.
It's 2 a.m. and I'm awake. I'm going to go watch a movie, eat something, or snack on something, and then go to bed. And then maybe by 3:30, I now have to wake up at 6 with somebody that slept at 10.
Let's go on, bro.
I used to have that quarrel with Dad. I said, you are a doctor. You wake up in the morning because you have to go to work. I was working on the radio then. I'll close at 12 midnight and come home at 12 midnight and then eat, sort myself out, take a shower, and then by 1 a.m. I'm going to bed. Then I have to wake up with you that slept at 10 o'clock at 5:30 in the morning.
it's not nice though, but that's how their generation wants it.
How their generation was, and I did not take it from them. Me, I did not take it too.
I take it.
At the point I had to move out of their house. It got to the point where
that's what happened. That's what happened. You just have to move out.
So there can be sanity. I went to rent one boys' quarter somewhere. And I was staying in my boys' quarter and there was peace. Now, every I visit them, I'm a guest in their house. So I don't conform to their rules because I don't live.
Okay. When I was growing up, my parents were deeper life. So they don't watch TV. So we bought TV in our rooms. So if my dad is coming, my dad is coming because he stays downstairs. So if he's coming up, say, my dad is coming. In the process of you trying to keep the TV, and those days, the TV, it's not flat screen. It's those TV that with that huge back, color TV. Before you know it, will break the screen. In the process of you trying to hide it somewhere. So it now reached one stage. We say, no, you know what? What will happen today. We think my dad saw it. Yeah, it will happen. Yes, now. As immediately saw it, this thing must leave this. I said, like we are like 5 boys. This thing is not living anywhere. Then we are in our early 20s now. And we have uncles that are 30s. Yeah, those one can't really talk because there's his younger brothers or people for family, extended family. But we the kids and some of my cousins, we the kids were in the front, my cousins were at the back. We are just saying this thing is not moving an inch. Is this not my? I say, okay, you guys have to move out in my house. We say, that's no problem. We'll move on. We'll move out. And that's and that was the breakthrough. That was the breakthrough for real. Everybody started moving out one by one. That was the breakthrough. That was just the breakthrough.
Wait,
everybody.
Like people don't do TVs?
No, they didn't do TVs.
Don't mind them, forget. Don't mind them now. My mom has DSTV in his house. Almost 20-something years after.
After they messed up our own life.
After they messed up, I could still remember vividly that my younger brother, then he was in secondary school. I was in uni. He was watching one film. He was watching one. It's like a staircase, but he was watching in the other house. Those one open their curtain. Listen, in front of you watching that scene. I mean, why? Wait, our house, our house is, but that is our parents is more. I'm not exaggerating, but I know they can buy everybody in the 4th flat of that other house. Those one open their curtain wide, they say they also. I still remember the name of the film. It's called 5 Elements of Ninja. Yeah, it's all this ninja film those days. So watching it in the process. I don't know what happened. Maybe he was trying to make ninja move. That's how he fell. He rolled down the staircase. If you see all his back with bruises, he was just, thank God that my uncle was at home, just rush him to the hospital. God forbid, if something happened to him, probably his backbone slip or something. And that's the reason, that's how we'll just be paralyzed for life, because of TV, that my father can afford to buy 1 million pieces of it.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And then it was, I still tell my dad that I didn't deeper life was the way it is now. I know all your children will have attended deeper life. Now, all his children, nobody. We don't want to hear that word, safe.
No, nobody wants to hear what tormented them.
I don't want to hear it.
No, let me tell you something here.
The only thing my father allowed us to do then,
hard as it was.
Let me tell you something. You know the worst part of it? Yeah, we have friends that they are very, very brilliant. I know someone that their parents didn't pay his wife's school fees because, I don't know, maybe he missed one service or he didn't go for one. I don't understand. Yeah, it's a very sad story. Yeah, but they lost their parents some few years back. If you see fights when they want to bury their parents, because all the children were not friendly, because there was no love in the house. I have another scenario of a guy that wanted to go for under 17 football team. Or then I could remember those the Kanu sets. That one that they teach. This guy qualified for it. Yes, his parents did it. They said it's worldly for you to play football.
It's worldly.
Yeah, that you be wearing short knicker, you're not supposed to show your tights. A man. And this boy his style was very good. He plays 4
in whole destiny because of
that. Is why he lost that opportunity. That guy is still roasting in Nigeria now as I'm talking to you. And this guy will have been a millionaire had he had that opportunity.
Wow.
Just on some parents' decision. Including jeans. If you wear jeans, they will say it's worldly. Now, their pastors now are wearing jeans. In those days when we were growing up, to wear jeans, no problem. Yeah.
We suffer jeans. On top religion, I want to do my hair like this. That's why for my kids, unless they are not doing well in school, I don't see the hairdo that they will do unless it's just too wild. My son wears dreads. You understand? You wear dreads in my father's house, put earring. This one has earrings, can't you see? I was the one that paid for it.
No, to be honest, you try with that. You try. If me, I won't allow it.
But guess what? Me, I had hole in my ear. So when I'm going out, I wear the earring. When I'm coming home, I will remove the earring. But
that was before you became a Christian now.
Even as a Christian now, I'm not wearing it because my face is old. So what is our old? I even wear it one of these days.
Try it now. It's still going to fit you. You know those days I used to do sit-up panel for judges. Those days I used to sit up panel for judges. You still remember?
Let me even. Right.
I'm sure it's still open. It's supposed to still be open though.
So okay, we have one more guy here. Let's quickly hear him out. He also experienced the deeper life. Can I say madness?
No, don't say madness, please. Say spirituality.
So there are various experiences for people, but for me, I grew up in a deeper life church, and my parents still attend deeper life till date.
Yes.
I remember my younger brother. He asked my father to buy him jeans when we were young, right? So he was very much, confrontational during those devotions. So he asked my father that when the Bible did they say a Christian must not wear jeans, right? And then it became an entire argument during the family devotion where he was asking that we enter cars, right? Why are we not going back to ride horses? Because of how it was back then. And he was a whole issue. To cut the long story short, 2 weeks after I went and bought this crazy Timberland jeans, right? He's been asking my dad for money for the jeans. And my dad never gave him the money because according to Deeper Life, jeans was not allowed. So this boy saved up money and my father burnt that jeans. Yeah, he burnt it. You know, so it's a lot of trauma. You know, it was it. Like we literally lined up by the house because my parents built the house, and just beside it, my father took that thing. You're stubborn. I've been telling you that it's wrong, and he poured kerosene and he literally lit up these jeans.
Wow.
My brother went to the house, packed all the clothes my father has. You know, when we're growing up, they'll give you clothes. Basho, you go. He went to pack all the school clothes, dumped everything in his bedroom. So there's a lot of trauma that comes from that. Yeah, my parents are in their 70s now, right? I live in the US, and they visit me. Their mentality has changed now, right? When they come around, you are dealing with a different side of your parents, right? And it sometimes doesn't make sense to me, you know. They still abide by most of those rules like it was back then, but they will say we are very much westernized. So it's very tough, and it's a very tricky situation to pass down idea to them because their ideas are just very rigid. And if you're trying to like pass it, they come with the religious sentiments, the cultural manipulation which is there. So they will hide behind the church. Before you say one, two, say, Daddy, this is wrong. They don't quote, honor thy father and thy mother. So that word, I don't hear that time from my house, right? Or they will cut down the regular, or they will hide behind the African culture, which is, for me, I be the crazy person for my family. I'm the firstborn, and they don't know me as the master of craziness for house because it gets some level where you go just really run mad with some certain things, right? And when I confront my parents, they feel like, it's westernized, you know. But in fact, it's fact because that's why Nigeria is complete shit right now because we don't get to hold the leaders accountable, right? It's a system where the old people have hid behind that cultural madness. Respect me. You can't pass them that you are wrong. Why can't we abuse Buhari or Joe Biden? They are old people. These guys are 79, 82, or 80, whatever. I don't know how much Joe Biden is. So we should take that same mentality that I can correct my parents who's 70 or 60 if I can get to talk to the president anyhow when they are doing something wrong. So there's a lot of baggages with the culture. For me, it's very personal, and it's a very painful, traumatic experience. You know, I don't say don't help your folks. God blesses you. Please help them, right? But there's an entitlement culture that also comes. I'm married to an American woman, right? She's Nigerian, but she made me understand so many things, right? Because you're on your own in the long run, my brother, right? If you take all your salary and you give it to family, when the push is down, what they call that thing, you're on your own. So I started getting that awakening because early in life, because of the Nigerian culture, when I came to the US, every money I make, I just send it back home. So and so need his steak. So and so need his steak. I was just giving it out. But my wife was making me understand we're dating then. Oh, Benny, young brain, this is not how you do it. Because when you don't have nothing, you're on your own. Right? And this was before I work in a tech company, right? Before I started having little breakthroughs, right? And you look at it with the level of sacrifice you thought you've made, right? For family in quotes. And then you have family clashes, right? It happens here and there, right? And then you begin to hear some things and you begin to wonder, we all have done. This is what you get to say. And so you see that entitlement culture is there. That attitude of ungratefulness, moral or primary school, moral or secondary school. So bring all your salary, or it's just ridiculous to me. And it's very personal to me because last year, sir?
I said, God bless my parents. So you tell me all this. This how what have
I remember we got last year. We got last year, man. Because I was literally driving myself. Go ahead.
And my father used to tell me how useless I was. Oh, I'm useless, blah, 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 blah. I don't hear I'm tired.
So if you like, give all your salaries, give everything.
That result was not as good as result, and
it's never enough. You have to prioritize yourself, which is the part I hate to the African culture. It's so, how do I put it? It mentally cages you in a way that you feel like if you don't do it, you are doomed, or cost will come for your head. I have white folks that work with.
Something. Hold on. So let me
Yeah,
bring her up for one.
yeah, go ahead.
Say something here. Use Baba, God bless you. Let me just bring her up and then we close the day. Oops. Where are you, sister? The sister with a YouTube page. The sister that said she wanted to come up to share her deeper life story. Okay. Ronnie B. I can't see first. Okay, she's here.
Okay,
Let me just
before that comes up, let me tell you something that happened in 2012. My dad was in the UK. Yeah, it was in my younger brother's house.
Hi, Daddy Freeze.
Yeah, hi.
Good
You did,
evening.
you
yeah.
did this.
Good morning.
For 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Can you
Good
hear
evening.
me?
Good evening.
Yes, Claire.
Yeah. So, the guy that just left was just telling my stories. I'm like, I'm happy you guys brought this up. Like what you said, these are one of the things that is affecting that country. Everybody's talking about Buhari. Everybody's talking about the senators. Sorry for speaking Yoruba if you don't understand. Let's start talking from our home. Our parents did a lot of damage in our lives. And for example, my mom, you know, when you grow up in a Christian home whereby they wake you up at 5 a.m. like Daddy Freeze with a bell, big bell, huge bell in the house. And, you know, you think it's a normal thing. It's good. You can say some memory verse, John 3:16, you are bold, you can quote Bibles, you can scandabush, all those things. But when it comes to enjoying life, when it comes to normal amenities, like playing in your compound with toys. I can remember playing with toys growing up, or bicycle. We used to go and rent. I would steal money from my mom's purse because of bicycle. I would go to the third street to go and pay for bike, to ride bike. You want to take our car key in the house, my dad will be giving you Bible verses. Who are you? Why will you drive that car? You understand that kind of things. And it really affected me to the point that even my other siblings, most of them don't like me because they feel like I'm the bad child. Because like I'm like Daddy Freeze, I know they agree. I don't allow them. My mom will say, okay, don't wear pant trousers. My brother, I will buy my own pant trousers, days of Alesh Lawyer Market, Dugbe. I will put it behind the fence. And when I'm going out, I'll wear their skirt, off the skirt behind the fence, and go with my pant trousers. Imagine me wearing that Maria Amaka skirt. Will I marry that kind of husband I married today? And the worst thing is, in the church, you now see all those brothers with all these 500 naira packing shirts. I received Sister Rebecca. Don't receive me. There's a brother that went to go and tell my dad that time. He's receiving me. And he came to meet me. I said, receive me. He now gave that format. He was fetching water. And I came to help him to lift the water. I'm like, brother, I beg. Go and sleep again and wake up. You cannot receive me. You that your shoe is bending, and me, I'm coming from a house that we are frying gari. You cannot receive me. I reject you. You know that kind of pattern. I'm coming out of poverty, and somebody from poverty is receiving me. No. And guess what? The rich people in the church, you see them every Saturday, they are getting married. Sister Tosin in Canada is married Brother Femi in US. Why is Brother Femi in US is not receiving me? You, Brother Chukuma, in my backyard, peeling cassava, you now receive me. Call me a gold digger. I don't care. Because I do not want that thing to happen to my generations. Don't come and bring Bible verse for me. The Holy Spirit said, I beg me, I'm not listening to your Holy Spirit. My Holy Spirit is telling me I will marry a cute, handsome man. I'm very rich and hardworking. That's what my own Holy Spirit is telling me, not Brother Chukuma. I'm not criticizing that person, and I'm not saying that that person will not make it. But if I'd listened to my parents, because that guy, he will come with his Bible here in his armpit. He's the one that will lead praises, you know, those packaging, and he has voice. Oh yeah, Lord. I'm not mocking them, but all this thing is brainwash. Let the children grow. All we need is education, moral education. If you have money to provide for your children, okay, you can buy them toys. If you don't have that money, don't use Ogboju. Our parents can use Ogboju, Jesus.
Ogboju is changing.
We don't have money.
Catching everything.
Manage these. Go to school. Be a good girl. Take this 5,000 naira. Everyone see that we don't have money. Go to school. Your mate are fasting. Go to school fast. Daddy, money no day, no put packaging on fasting. Why will I fast? Am I the only one they are doing? Am I the only one village people is following? I used to question them. I do question them while I was growing up. There was a day my mom was taking us from one crusade to another. I broke down with her and I'm like, Mommy, I'm kind of emotional. Like, if I remember how I grew up, you can't go to school and feel among because they are the one that will arrange your wardrobe for you. Pleating skirts, inferiority complex. Thank God for people like us that are bold, that can fight and challenge them. My sisters, some of them, it's affecting them till today. I started going to cyber cafe. If anybody here is in Ibadan, police post challenge. Cyber cafe at 1997, at age 10. I love computer. My mom will bring cane. She will beat shege. Until today in US, that computer is what is feeding me and my family. She's living with me now. She's been with me for the past 6 years. I told her, Mommy, computer, you were beating me that time that you wanted to kill me. See what it's doing to our lives now. And she would like, Igbai money. My mom will even tell us, any small problem, go to one pastor. And guess what that pastor did to my sister? My sister went there, and the pastor said my younger sister to kneel down, and he was trying to bring his manhood out.
Oh!
My sister did not tell anybody until 2 years ago. My mom was just saying, I think something happened in the house, and my mom was advising, go and call Pastor Lagbada. I said, Lord Joe, which Pastor Lagbada? Pastor Lobbe, Pastor Shionishino. My mom was like, And she started begging us and saying she's sorry, she didn't know. My house, if you don't go to Bible study, you are in hell. Your hellfire will start from your bed. And they will start brainwashing you. Pastors, and you know when pastors they have sweet mouths. If you go to a gospel church, if you grow up in a gospel church, you know that all this packaging that they are not saying now, it has been existing. But our parents were so blindfolded and they were not listening to us. Just the way my daughter now, we bring an iPhone. Now she's like, Mom, do you know iPhone can do this? I cannot argue with her. Who am I? So I argue with my daughter that iPhone can do this. She has seen 10 times of what I am seeing on my phone. And that was exactly what we were telling our parents at that time. They would either listen to their pastors or their mommy yard before listening to you. But I'm grateful to God that, sir?
I said, no wonder people like Daddy Freeze. I came
Daddy Freeze. Sir?
I said, I use cane to chase all those pastors away.
Daddy Freeze is only a mumu or somebody that is still living in the 80s that would say that Daddy Freeze is saying what he's saying is not the truth.
Exactly.
If you see most of the people that are watching Daddy Freeze, is most of us that are in the civilized world. We are in a country that understands a system, that believes that a system works after prayer. Not prayer before system.
Prayer. Yeah.
You understand? So I don't even argue with some people, but I'm just glad we can talk about this, and I pray this go viral so that all these WhatsApp parents can still, not the one they will say, drink hot water times 10 to control your diabetes level. You know WhatsApp too. It's not pastor anymore now for our parents, though. It's WhatsApp. You see my mom waking up, boiling water with cocoyam. I want to blood pressure. I'm like,
I pray. You saw water bath during Ebola time.
Hey.
But does it really help?
It doesn't.
What help fight?
Help what?
That we're a doctor.
Somebody will just compose something, broadcast it, and our African parents will put it on their head.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel bad for them.
All right.
I feel bad for them. All right. Good night.
Thank you so much. You guys made the show today so beautiful. Want to say something? You want to sleep? I knew that's because of your place. Yeah, I can go on forever.
You don't have problem. Be grateful for your dad and God. You don't have problem.
As
You
bad
can
as we,
see everything.
We just talk about now. Be grateful. Be parents saying what?
Grateful. You
but
can
we-
even pierce your nose under your father's roof. You don't know anything. I got this tattoo after getting married, 10 years after marriage. Before I
Wow.
got this tattoo. I will get this tattoo at your age. My mom will just collapse.
Okay.
okay, I'm not saying anything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you all. Thank you
Love you, Daddy
tomorrow.
P.
Black
Bye.
supporters, Peter Obi, Tinubu, and Atiku are going to be on the grill again tomorrow. Don't miss it. Be there. Going to
Bye.
be on every
Bye.
day. Don't miss it. 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Be there. Take care. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.